terms of the driver skill too. Nobody dominated in this race. Four-way race all the way to the end, if not five-way, as we come down to the closing stages of this. And Scott, who's your money on, man? I put you on the spot.
Well, I used to own a Dodge Challenger, so I'm going to go with Richard Goldsmith in the 77.
Good call.
Starting far back, threads his way through the pack and poses challenger.
This is my 1966 Ford Mustang. I've wanted something different for a little while now. I was excited with the R32. I was excited to film the Bandit stuff, but I want more of that. The older I get, the more I realize I don't know anything. And what I mean by that is there's certain things that I can and cannot do. I want to change that. I want to learn how to weld. I want to learn how to fabricate some stuff. And I want to learn more of how a car works. Yes, I understand theoretically, but there's a lot of things I've not done myself. And I've certainly never done a build like this. I want to build this car from the ground up. As you see it, I want to do it. I want to know where every bolt lands. I want to know the torque spec for everything that I put on there. I want to know how it's done. I want to know how it's laid out. I want to do it, for the most part, myself. It's going to take who knows how long, 12 months, 18 months, whatever it is, I don't care. This isn't something for me to flip and get done with and just bang out in a crazy amount of time. I just want to do it. The great thing about this project is it's going to teach me. It's going to allow me to learn. Allow me to learn how to weld, allow me to learn how to fabricate, allow me to learn how to set up certain things. The car needs absolutely everything, but that's okay. Like I said, this will not be a rushed project. This is going to be a long-term thing. So if you want, follow along on the channel, like, comment, subscribe, just like everybody always says. But truly, if you're interested to see how this car ends up, what I can learn, stick around, follow, watch the channel. Okay, so here it is. This is my new to me 1966 Ford Mustang. As you can see, I got a lot of work to do, but this is it. Obviously, I have to get into all of it. From front to back, I have to touch and manipulate and figure out all the pieces on this car. I have some plans. I have a plan to do it. First, I'm going to kind of show you. What I'm going to try to do today is just walk around the car, show a couple pieces, get it up on jack stands, and get the wheels off. If I can do that, that's a great start, because then I can start really looking at the underside and finding out, sorry, this camera's a little weird. There we go. And I can get underneath it and really take a look and find out what shape that's in under there. A lot of the work was tackled and worked on, but I don't know exactly what stage of completion everything is in. I think it's started, but certainly not finished by any means, you know, and I'm talking about the metal components under the chassis, all that sort of stuff. But yeah, the plan will be Once it's up on jack stands, get the sheet metal off that I can, fenders, hood, trunk, all that sort of stuff. Find a place to keep it, and then go from there. I'm sure you're wondering, no, this cage is not staying. I don't really need a car with a full cage. If anything, I might have nils at some point, hook up a harness bar, that sort of stuff in the back. But for right now, or at some point pretty soon, this cage will be coming out. Same with all of this, I don't even know, kill mat, whatever, Dynamat, you know, noise reduction mat, all that's going to come out so I can really take a look at the floor underneath and see what I have to work with. This is one of the kind of, you know, spots I got to sort out, probably make a piece. There we go. For this, it might even just end up, I got to watch out because that's one of the windshield brackets to hold the windshield in. Might end up just kind of cutting this section, figuring out something else to fix that. But I mean, you're probably wondering, like, all right, what's the plan? What is the deal with this car? Hold on. What is the deal with this car? And I'll tell you straight up, like, this is not going to be a pretty project. What I mean by that, it's not going to be painted. If you care about panel gaps, cool, that's on you. I don't. I want the car to be solid. I want the car to be fun to drive. I don't even know what it's going to be powered by just yet. Again, this is all stuff far, far down the road, but I want something light, loud. I want it fast, kind of ish, whatever. I have a power goal in mind, but it's truly nothing insane, nothing to break the bank, you know, not pushing any crazy boundaries, anything like that. I want a fun, old manual car to drive, and that's the ultimate goal with this. But like I said, I have an absolute ton of work ahead of me. I got to still do this quarter that's just kind of mounted there. I'll pop this open real quick, kind of. Some stuff in there. Oh, hold on. Got to sort that out. Grind daily. But yeah, this is it. I don't know. There's really not a bunch to say right now. It's really just an introduction. Like I said, this is going to be a long-term project, and we'll see how it goes. If anybody's interested, you know, you want to see the bay. There you go. So yeah, that's it. That is my 66 Mustang. You want to support the project, you want to support Revival Motoring, go to our website, revivalmotoring.com. Sign up for the B4B. You can buy some of our cleaning products that we now offer. It's all there, car care stuff. All right, we're going to see if I can do this without pinching my fingers off. Probably. Lower this. So it is sitting on this anyway. In theory. I'm going to leave you right there because I want you to see my genius. It's gonna work. It's gonna work. It's gonna work. Love that. In theory, should be able to go on that side and lift it out. All right. If I can actually lift it. Okay. Okay. It is off the hinge. Turns out, I may not have the wingspan. Jesus. All right, let's see. Oh boy, here we go. Ready? I'm gonna leave it on. Judging by the amount of rust that came out of that hood, makes me think there's some rot from the inside. But it's off. The bay is exposed. I can clean things up for now. So I'm seeing this section completely open for the first time. Looks like it's tacked in or welded in there and some spots over there. But this I'm kind of curious about. I'm gonna have to look some stuff up because I mean that looks rusted in there. And that is just not there. This is just sitting. There we go. Tank is just sitting in there, which that's okay. You know, I kind of knew that. That can pop out. I have to figure out where to put that hood, that sort of stuff around here because I don't necessarily want it sitting there. So some stuff there, more stuff here. I'm going to do that now. Okay, so things have escalated. but it's okay, I promise. The rear quarter that I knew needs to be mounted, tacked on, sorted, all that properly done is off, which allowed me to look at this. So that wheel well clearly has been replaced. If you look underneath there, that frame rail right there has been replaced, which is all good. The metal here is about what I expected, and that's just a lot of surface rust. I have to kind of jump on that because I don't like this metal just being kind of exposed. I'm obviously not going to do that right this second, but that's going to be addressed real quick. And the fortunate thing is I don't see or feel any rot in particular with this section that I have to cover up and all that. I do kind of question how that side was done. Actually, I can probably get in there and see. What I'm wondering and what I want to do is I'm going to hit this with like Eastwood rust prevention or surface prevention, surface treatment, whatever the hell it is. There's some stuff you can brush on, then ultimately hit with primer. So before I get into putting that actual rear quarter back on, I'm going to clean this section up, do all that. the best I can, just to make sure it's covered and hopefully prevented, as much as I can. Like I said, this isn't going to be a show-winning, concourse level restoration by any means. This is get it solid, get it together. Oh, you know what? Completely off track, but like, hold on. That looks all primered there. So I'd be willing to bet it's at least treated on the inside for the most part, which is cool. But as I was saying, this is not a concourse build. Get it so it's solid, so I trust that it's not going to rip in half on the road, and go from there. That's kind of where I'm at. So I'm going to continue along, checking some things out. Like I said, finding a place for that stuff to live, and I'm going to go from there. So I'll grab you in a few minutes. Well, things have escalated. That's okay. Like I said, I took that rear quarter off because it truly wasn't even affixed, other than with this little bolt. And gas tank was just sitting in there, which obviously I knew anyway. So I popped that out, put that off to the side. And now I'm really just kind of surveying what everything looks like. I have to do a deep dive of what all this is supposed to look like. I'm going to use it as a good example and run from that. Like I said, there's a concerning area here that I got to figure out. I just don't know how or what that is exactly supposed to look like. Actually, let me pop this off. There we go. Sorry. This area here. Like I said, I don't know exactly how this is supposed to look. Obviously, this was cut to fit. This is where the frame rail meets on the underside, or is the frame rail. I kind of feel like this should come back out, but this is already attached and welded over there. So I'm going to have to really take a look and see what's what. I obviously can't just lift this off. It looks like it's tacked in a couple spots over there. So I'm gonna see. I'll take a look and really try to figure that one out. Yeah. You know. All right, this is where we're at for today. I'm gonna call it. I'm filming a bunch, but it's up on jack stands. Hood's off, trunk's off, rear quarter's off. I think next time I'm going to take the two front fenders off. Then I'm going to take a look under the car, check everything out on the underside. I still got to figure out how I'm going to handle all this stuff. I don't really want it on the floor. All that sort of stuff just kind of gets in the way. I think we might go up. Something like that. But yeah, this is how it sits currently, comfortably on the frame rails. And this is it. This is the beginning. So brief episode, sure. Brief intro, you got it. This is it. 66 Mustang. This is what I'm going to be doing. This is where I'm going to spend my winter, Sunday mornings, all that sort of stuff here during winter, and cranking away at this. So a couple things. Go to revivemotoring.com, support the website, B for B, support this whole project, all that sort of stuff. Buy some merch, buy some car care products. And if you know anybody who's into a 2004 R32, I'm looking to sell it. So do that. Hit me up. Any questions, all that sort of stuff. That's it. We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.